Sahabi was doing at that time was not giving enough dose of honey. That's why he was not getting better. Now, I've had this question a lot. I'll answer this right now. I know you'll have this question at the end too. That what sort of honey are we talking about? Are we talking the one that we buy from Giant or Walmart? No. This is not that honey. This is the raw honey that you find from farmers market. That's the honey that we're talking about. Not the the processed, synthesized, and they add all the fancy ingredients. It's not the bad one. It's the raw honey, which is available. Because remember, this saturation and this processing was not available at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. So again, organic, raw things, that's the honey which we are talking about. Now cupping. I did mention cupping because the Prophet ﷺ, there's cured in 3 things. Honey, cupping, and cauterization. Cupping. This is a very old technique. I'll just move over here so the sisters can see it too. And what they do is, they heat up a cup and apply to places. This is old Chinese thing. It's having used for headaches. It's still used by chiropractors. It's still used by, unfortunately we don't use it anymore, but it's still used in other, homeopath societies. They have used it and they have applied it and it works good. So that's what basically cupping is.
What it is, really, take the blood out?
No. What it is you take a vessel, this is the vessel over here, and you heat it. And you apply that heated area. If you take a cup just like this, you heat it up, the edges, and then you apply that cup to the skin. So what it does is creates an anesthetic area around the whole wound. It burns the area so the infection does not spread, and simultaneously it sucks out whatever is bad in the wound. That's what it does. Just basically wound burning, that's what it is. Again, the Prophet Aisha narrated that the Prophet ﷺ used to like sweet edible things and honey. Again, honey. Alright, let's move on. Book number 71, and it's hadith number 592. Read by Abu Hurairah, and he says that I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying, there is healing in black cumin for every disease, for all the diseases except death. Now black cumin, onion seed, or as where I come from, it's called kalonji. That's what it is. This is how it looks like, it grows, and that's how the seeds look like. Now, all this data which I'm going to share you right now, it's now coming in US. It hasn't approached your US shores. A lot of people are not savvy with it over here. The most data which came up out of the kalonji and onion seed is from the Egyptian brothers over there. They did a lot of research. There's a whole book published. An Egyptian doctor published a whole book on black cumin. And he says that, and absolutely, when the Prophet ﷺ says, you have to test it everywhere. So, it's from bushes, it's mostly grown in India, and it's from Turkey and Italy too. I mean, it is incorrect if you look, and I've also put the controversial things over here too, so you can answer other people. If you go to the web, if you browse the web, they'll tell you that, you picked it up from Greek, you picked it up this, the Prophet ﷺ took this from the Chinese, from the Greeks and all that. No, did the Prophet ﷺ ever meet the Greeks in his lifetime? Of course he did. So, it is incorrect that the Arabs learned this benefits from the Greeks, okay? Its therapeutic use was initiated after this hadith the Prophet ﷺ said. That's when it was properly introduced. And why it is so. And again, the Sahaba, this is an incident where the Sahaba used to use it. Khalid bin Sa'd states that he was traveling with Ghalib bin Jabal when he, Ghalib, fell ill during the journey. Abi Atiq, the nephew of Aisha, came to meet us. On seeing the distressed one, he took 5 or 7 black seeds, ground them, mixed them with olive oil, and dropped them into his nostrils. Ghalib became healthy with this treatment. And again, Aisha told us that the Prophet ﷺ stated that there is a cure for black seeds, has a cure for all illness except death. And I asked him, what is Psalm? And he said Psalm means death. So, what is the chemical composition of it? It's 1.5% volatile oil and 37.5% non-volatile oil. It's basically oil. Okay, it's got albumin, which is the protein in your body. Your body synthesizes this protein. It's a protein in your body which you use to stay alive. If you don't have this is albumin. If you have low albumin, this is an independent risk factor for mortality, which means if this albumin is low, your chances of dying are more. It has sugar, organic, melatonin, and all these are antioxidants which it has, and that's why it helps, in fighting. And look at the diseases. This is directly from the abstract of that book. I just copied this from there. You can use it as a diuretic, you can use it against worms, you can use it as a vinegar, it's beneficial in common colds, alopecia, it's bee stings, people have used it even against paralysis, facial palsy, migraines, amnesia, and it has been proven. It's good for kidney stones and bladder if you take it with honey, subhanAllah, of course. And if it's jaundice, you take it with milk, it's been shown to do better. It's better for, if you boil it with vinegar, it has been shown to be applied good with teeth and gums. And it's used for skin disorders and cataracts. So keep this on your table, the black seed. And just take it, it's going to help you, it's going to prevent diseases, because the best treatment is prevention. If you can prevent the disease, that's the best thing. Why are you waiting for a disease to happen? And this broad statement was given to us 1400 years ago. Again, a very, very beautiful statement, hadith by the Prophet ﷺ. Again, same book of medicine, 593. Aisha Razallah used to recommend talbina for the sick and for such person as grieved over the dead. She used to say, I heard the Prophet of Allah ﷺ say, talbina gives rest of the heart of the patient and makes it active and relieves some of its sorrow and grief. What is she talking about over here? She's talking about depression. Our mother is talking about depression. And what is talbina? This is barley. This is poor raw barley. This is what it is. And the scholars have done this, and this is a recipe. If everybody asks me after this, I can mail it to you and all that. And instead of taking those antidepressant medications which have so many side effects, which you get hooked on, you get doped on, you become a zombie when you start taking them, just take this simple barley. Look how it's made. Adding 1 to 2 spoons of barley flour with that is 100% whole grain barley flour to 1.5 cup of water. Just boil it for about 15 minutes and drink 1 cup daily. Simple. No medications, no side effects, no zombiness, nothing. This is just another way of preparing it. Alternatively, you can use it with milk too, and you leave it again for 10 to 15 minutes and drink 1 cup daily. So the best treatment of depression narrated to us 1400 years ago, the Prophet ﷺ. I put this just there just to tell you guys that there is something out there with the Prophet ﷺ has said, but research has not been done on it. So I'm not going to comment too much on it, because it's December 609, it's narrated by that I heard the Prophet ﷺ say. Apples are like manna, that is, they grow naturally without man's care, and their water heals eye diseases. We haven't gone there, but inshallah, don't be surprised if something comes out. Okay? Again, Bukhari has the hadith number 611. It is narrated by Umm Qais that she went to the Prophet ﷺ along with a son of mine whose palate and tonsils I had pressed with my fingers as a treatment for tonsil or throat disease. The Prophet ﷺ said, why do you pain your children by pressing their tonsils? Use udal hindi, a certain type of Indian incense. For it cures 7 diseases, one of it is pleurisy. It is used as a snuff for treating throat and tonsil disease and inserted to one side of the mouth for suffering for pleurisy. Everybody knows what pleurisy is. Pleurisy in old days used to be infection of the lung. And if you look at the old literature, the medieval times, they used to call pleurisy as TB. TB was another name for pleurisy at that time. So that's what he's telling. Unfortunately, nobody knew that, or I don't know why it was missed. They didn't do it. Again, this is the same narration that the Prophet ﷺ used al-Hindi. And Hindi and henna, everybody knows what this is.